Welcome to round 3 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of August 8th. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Nicole Eridix is away this week. Boo.
We miss her.
Yeah. We're moms of teens and young adults, and when it comes to parenting, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. But we're still waiting for that day when we'll reach the finish line and have no further need to lay down in a dark room with a wet rag over our eyes, worrying about something or other. Wednesday is complaint day here on Parenting Roundabout, and today we are complaining about personality plagiarism. Or maybe we're complaining about anybody who would complain about it, because what's the harm? Really, we're just it's a sign of admiration.
That's right. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
So they say. We are pulling this topic from deep in our vaults. Every week we suggest a bunch of topics and then we pick some, and I remembered this one from many months ago that we never did. It was inspired by an episode of the No Stupid Questions podcast called Do You Mind If I Borrow Your Personality? And it was about something they called personality plagiarism, in which you see somebody doing something that you like, or saying something in a way you like, or writing something in a way you like, and you just take that for yourself and start using it. They were talking on the podcast specifically about liking the way a person signed off on their emails, and so just starting to do that themselves. Now, is that an insult? Is that theft? Does that count as plagiarism, or is it just, the sharing of a good idea? At the time, I think one of the reasons we didn't discuss it was because I couldn't think of anything to say about it. But I have noticed lately that I have heard the expression bandwidth used to mean your own personal energy, but it never really stuck with me. But I have recently been doing some freelance work for somebody who every time she sends me an assignment, she says, do you have the bandwidth to do this week? And the more I see her writing that, the more I think, wow, I like that. I like that as a way to consider my workload and my energy and everything that's going on in my life. Do I have the bandwidth? And so now I hear myself saying that, maybe not out loud, but in my head, like, man, I just don't have the bandwidth for that today.
Right.
Or, I need some more bandwidth for that. And so I feel like I have I wonder if I should apologize to this woman, because I have just picked up her way of describing things, because I like it, and it's fun, and it's meaningful to me now. And I wonder, Catherine, have you ever stolen anything from anybody? Or seen your kids steal something from you?
Yeah,
I don't know that I've ever noticed. We have family things that we just sort of start doing, all of us.
Right.
But I don't know if it's specifically something that I've said.
I feel like I've definitely done it, and I'm trying to think of, an example, and can't very readily. But, and I think there's probably things that my kids have picked up, too, and that, that these, like you said, sometimes there's just, a family thing, like a phrase that becomes shorthand among the family. Or, both my husband and my son, the theater child, have the habit of just singing to themselves out loud all the time, which, I love it. Really, I do. So, yeah, who's to say if that came from father to son, or if it's just, the way my kid is wired, because my daughter doesn't really do it. So,
well, I think we've talked about how sort of if we watch a movie with people who have adorable accents of some sort, it's hard not to just start talking in that adorable accent yourself.
Well, yeah,
it's so cute.
My brother and sister tease me because I have a Wisconsin accent, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I've lived here for 18 years, you know. But then they say, but your kids don't. I'm like, I know, it's true. It's like you. I think you described it once as being an accent empath.
Yes,
and I like that, and I shall steal it and use it.
Please do. She'll be. Yeah, it's just hearing somebody use a turn of phrase often. You just sort of taking that.
Right.
And and then sometimes you hear yourself saying things and like, where did I pick that up?
Right.
That did not come originally from me. Mm-hmm. Where did I say? Because I find myself saying, and this has been for quite a while, but I say y'all all the time. Mm-hmm. I've never lived in the South.
Right.
I just joke that I like it, that English needs a second person plural, and I like it better than use, which is the New Jersey version. But
right. I think it's all that country music that you listen to.
Maybe so. I like it. I enjoy it. I have plagiarized it, I guess, from country music or someplace because, y'all are just going to have to understand that that's the way I talk. Right. And dudes. I've picked up dudes, too. I hear myself saying dudes a lot for generally to describe guys of whom one is uncertain. Uncertain.
Okay.
Like my daughter's all these dudes texting her from the dating service, and I just don't know what to think.
Right.
But I play back the podcast, and I hear myself saying that all the time, and it's like, where did that come from? I ain't going to stop using it, but where did I pick that? I picked that up somewhere from somebody.
Right.
From some entertainment product or other, probably. And, I don't know. Do I need to pay royalties to whoever that was? Is it cool? Is it cool to just pick up expressions and?
Yeah, I mean, I think the complaint I would have from this podcast is I don't think any of this is personality plagiarism. I mean, like,
they may have gotten more into it in the podcast. It's been a very long time since they listened to it.
They did. I mean, and the original term that was in the research that prompted this was copy-paste prompts.
Yes, that is definitely. I just copy-paste stuff into my vocabulary all the time.
And because, like, is having the same email signature as someone else, that's not copying their personality. That's just like...
It depends how personable the signature is. If it's sort of unique and funny. I mean, if I came up with a funny way to do an email signature and then somebody else did it too, I might feel like, hey,
right,
I came up with that. But if it's just sort of I've organized the information in a certain format and you're now organizing in a certain format, that's the same thing. That's okay.
Yeah.
Depends how much creativity is involved in it, I guess.
Right. I just think that, certain phrases or even actions, like they mentioned in the podcast that one of the people said that she always takes phone calls, like when she's walking. I don't feel like that's personality. I don't know. To me, that's just efficient because I do that.
Right.
If I'm walking, that is a good time to catch up with my sister or whatever. Because I'm not working, and also I'm out on the street where, family members can't hear me. So I can say whatever I want.
I don't know if you see somebody doing something in a new way that seems useful to you, or maybe not new. I mean, she's probably not the first person who's ever taken phone calls on a walk. But if you see somebody who's doing something, is it polite to say, "Wow, what a great idea! I'm going to do that too. Is it okay? Can I copy you?" Or do you just do it and say, "Hey, it was out there for the taking. It was public domain. It's in the public domain."
Yeah, I mean, I think doing something like, hey, I see that they've adopted a more efficient way to do things. I'm going to do that too. Like, that doesn't seem like something you need to ask permission for. But something like the email signature, right, where it's something that they've written and they might see that that you've done it.
I don't know. My daughter has picked up, I make jokes about my mom all the time and her worrying, how she worried so much, and that it's like, I've inherited her worry and all that. And now my daughter will say that too. I've inherited your mom's worry. I worry because, and it's like, well, that's sort of my little story. I don't know. In the first place, you inherited it from
me,
nurture, not nature. So you definitely inherited it from me.
Right.
And, I can make jokes about my mom, but I don't know if I want other people joking about my mom. So that's something she's definitely picked up and added to her repertoire. Right. And I'm sort of,
right.
Well, I don't know. Right. Maybe I'll complain about that a little bit. But I'm sure she does it just to be in solidarity with me and also to blame me for all her problems, as I blame my mother for all her problems. And that's certainly in the public domain, that act.
Right. As mothers and daughters from time immemorial, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's having somebody do something that you do seems like it would be complimentary and cool, but I can see how also it could be annoying.
I think it depends so much on what it is and what your relationship is.
On the person.
Yeah.
And it's like, does the person seem to be copying you admiringly or mockingly? That's certainly a possibility. Right. You know? I don't know. It's
I think depending on what the thing is, if you give credit,
yeah, I mean, I would not want this person to think I was mocking her by using her bandwidth thing. And I mean, it's not hers. I've definitely heard it in that context before. Right. But she just uses it every time, and it's so cute. And it's do I have the bandwidth? Let me take a look at my bandwidth. Right. Maybe my bandwidth's a little thin on that day, but so I would not want her. I would feel like if I started using it, and if she was somebody I was ever going to meet in my life, if she would think I was making fun of her. But I'm not.
Yeah. And also it's
a great way. It's a great way to ask, and also to approach a freelancer respectfully to say, "Hey, I understand that you have other work that you do, and also a life. Do you have room to do this project?"
Right.
Which, for a freelancer, the answer is always yes. Right. Even if there's absolutely no Wi-Fi or bandwidth available, I will still do your work. I will find a way. I will light candles. I will, But y'all feel free to pick up any phrase that we have said for your own and enjoy it, treasure it.
Yep.
But give us credit every time you say it.
Download a podcast every time. Download an episode as payment.
That's right. That's it for today's round 3. Tune in tomorrow when we will obsess about love or money. Which is more important? On Friday, you'll see what we've come up with for our Roundabout Roundup picks this week. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there on our Facebook page or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.